Hi guys, welcome back. Now this is where we begin to actually break down the charts and start analysing them technically and fundamentally. And the first thing we do, which is absolutely essential before any form of analysis is done, is we actually have to break down the charts with something called time frame analysis. So what you can call this, and you may have heard this before in fact, it's called top-down analysis as well, especially in Forex. So what we do is, the essential strategy behind this is we start from the monthly time frame. And from here, we work our way down to the weekly, the daily, and then we begin to find our entries from the 4-hour and the 2-hour chart. Now with crypto, you can essentially find entries from the daily only, as the market is so volatile and so hectic, you don't really need to be digging down to the 4 hours and the 1 hours, for example. So what we'll do is, we'll go straight to the 1 month chart. Now, what this means is every single month a new candlestick is formed. So every single one of these is a month's worth of data. So what I'll do is, I'll zoom this out a bit. You can see my zones that I've placed have already been selected from the monthly chart. So if I was to get rid of this and get rid of this, you can see slightly clearly we have a key level of support here. We have a key level of resistance here. We have slight zones of support and resistance here, which were actually found on the weekly chart. So ideally, the main levels of support and resistance we want to be finding first from the monthly chart. From then, we then break down the next few support and resistance zones on the weekly. So what we'll do is, we'll go to a fresh chart, so you have some fresh content to work with. We'll go to the Kraken chart. I'm going to get rid of this. Going to go to the monthly chart, like so. Now we can already identify key levels of support and resistance. So what we can see here, we have already got a key level of resistance here, just underneath the $400 resistance. So there we go, that's 389. And as you can see, we have two major levels of test here. In fact, three, a full spike through this level. This is what triggered the original downtrend. So we already know this zone in particular can be considered a key level. Once broken, this is when the price skyrockets. So what we can find now is another few levels of support and resistance. We have one here. We have another support level just here. Now, I can see a few more, and this will take some training to actually spot these levels. However, we want to break this down now on the weekly chart to really fine tune those levels. So if we go to the weekly, we can now see the levels that we initially set are literally pinpoint on support and resistance levels. So we can see a test here, twice the price has fallen from this zone. We can see the fall down. We did have some support here. We had another key level of support here and another key level of support here. And again, once the price broke through, all of these levels are almost hit to the absolute T. So what we can do now is we can set another level here. That's another key level. We can also set another key level just here. Now what you will notice is there's no symmetry to these levels, and this is why so many people fail to make money with cryptocurrencies. That's because they're going for the same strategies they learned from Forex, and they're trying to get an even distribution of support and resistance lines, and that's just simply not how it works, guys. And in fact, we can even add this one here. So what you're essentially doing is you're trying to put as many levels of support and resistance as possible to try and predict every single move that will be coming. And this actually allows you to get a very high probability of success when predicting these levels. So as you can see, we've covered the chart in lines. We have accuracy on all levels. Now we can drop down to the daily and see just how accurate these levels are. And from here, we can fine tune again. We can actually remove some levels. So what you'll notice is every single level here has been hit to the absolute T, and it's completely perfect. Every single level has been tested at some point, and every single level is also respected. So what we'll do, some of these are actually quite unnecessary. So what I will say for this example is, instead of having lines, we can get rid of some of these. We can keep this level. This is definitely a key level, as this is the final barrier to $400. So what we can do now, again, not needed now as we're way too far up to worry about this level for the time being. This was a key zone of manipulation, as you can see twice now, so we will keep this level for the sake of any manipulation that may come in the future. So what we can do is, we can see this level is respecting also. This level is another respected level. So all we can do is get the rectangle tool, just like we did up here. We can just start marking some extra levels. For example, just a small level here. And what you do is you right click this and you press visual order and center back. This puts the candlesticks back on top of your zone. So this is almost in the background. So there we have a rough strategy and an approximate way of analyzing these currencies and cryptos. So what you can see from now is, when you zoom back to the weekly, is we actually have a nice outlook and a nice range of barriers of where the price will go next. From here, we can obviously move down to the counter trends, the triangles, the patterns. But for now, just stick with this and really get a grip of this video, because this is a fundamental of your analysis. If this is incorrect, all of your entries, all of your sales, all of your targets will be incorrect. So if this is wrong, the whole foundation of your trading is wrong. So if we go back to the weekly now, another quick insight for you guys is this. We spiked up, we hit this level, we fell down. Our level of support that we've marked has been respected 1, 2, 3, 4 times, including a huge manipulative drop down to this level where all the buy orders must have been set here, which triggered the price all the way back up to another level that we set. We now drop this down and we're currently fluctuating between another level. So the way you have to see this is, you're setting yourself the foundation to succeed. Now, let's move on to the next lesson.